This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Turtles of Grayskull, Michelangelo. Powerful party dude! Part of the Masters of the Universe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover line of action figures. On the back of the box, we see Michelangelo fighting against a bunch of the snake foot soldiers with the Shredder Skeletor Naga hybrid thing, whatever, that we're still confused as to where it comes in the storyline. And of course, we have King Hiss in the background. And the way they do these new nunchuck things, let's see. Michelangelo's nunchaku fused with the power of Grayskull, fill him with radical secret powers to take down the Snakemen. Honestly, they kind of look like spider webs to me, so it's like spider turtle, does whatever a spider turtle does, spins a web from his butt. Look out! Here comes Spider Turtle! The Reptile Wars, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, scour Eternia for Shredder, but find themselves in the middle of King Hiss's plot to make the Snakemen the most powerful force in the universe. Also, as part of this wave, we have Leonardo, the leader of the Snake Hunting Green Machine, Clampchamp, the master of hand puppets, Ninjor, the devious dragon, and, of course, this figure of Michelangelo, the powerful party dude. Now, let's go ahead and open this sucker up, shall we? Shall I? Oh, okay, this isn't going well already. As usual, we have the little sheet here that tells you what this thing does, and apparently it does multiple things. Because, yeah, okay. So the webbing comes off of there. Also looks like it's got a thing here in the middle that's designed specifically to hold both sides of the nunchucks. And then the rest of the parts that come off of him. Also looks like he, at least from here, is wearing the battle armor underneath. So this means that Michelangelo did not come with a plain torso at all in this line. And once more, we go back to our mini comics and The Blood of the Dragon. And while I like the artwork in this better than what they've been doing for the main line, I'm just sick of this story already. Oh, the turtles fall into a pit. Well, okay, so technically they're tossed into the pit by, King Hiss. There's some talk going on here. It's a lot of blah, 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 blah. King Hiss narrates or some poses or whatever you want to call it. But hark, Ninjor appears because we learn that he is part Dragon Man from another race of Eternia, which again kind of makes sense because he has the weird feet and fins on his arms. Although realistically, when you think about it, the fins look like they'd be part of his gloves anyway. But once again, apparently Ninjor is working with the Snakemen, or at least is working with Serpos, because, dragons and snakes are the same thing. But hey, he transforms here in another scene where no mutagen was apparently used, so why? But he can blast out fires with a flame effect that they don't include in the toy. I guess those wings cost too much money. According to our King Hiss, although it does look like Rattler went back to his normal unmutated self here, by the way. But according to King Hiss, it doesn't matter if Ninjor wins or loses. The results will be the same. Serpos will return. And of course, the Dragon Man version of Ninjor seems to have gotten taller, which is kind of annoying that they put him on a standard buck when they made him. Like, I'm complaining more about the figure I'm not reviewing right now than I am reading the book. Anyway, we have a giant Ninjor Dragon Man fighting the turtles. The turtles are getting their asses kicked. And then the Shredder Skeletor Snake hybrid thing that shouldn't exist without King Hiss as part of it, because King Hiss was actually in the mutagen chamber when it was done. But behold, King Hiss was not part of it, and the Dragon Snake Shredder Skeletor, whatever, starts eating up Ninjor, meaning that, yes, he just killed Ninjor. But hey, Michelangelo gets to call upon the power of Grayskull for some reason. Even though doesn't seem to have equipment that came from Grayskull, and the sword is supposed to be the thing that calls upon the power. Because as you might recall from the old cartoons, He-Man could not change back to Prince Adam without the sword in that show. But Michelangelo gets his turtle Grayskull power, and he wallops the Shredder Snake, Dragon, Ninjor, Hybrid, Skeletor thing all by his little self, pretty much. Which makes no sense because the Dragon Ninjor basically defeated the Turtles single-handedly earlier, meaning that Shredder and Skeletor are that incompetent of leaders that once they are combined with a competent and destructive fighter, that fighter turns into garbage. But the Turtles win, save the day. Shredder is demutated, and they go back to Earth. As we've noted before, the Turtles seem to be going back by themselves without Casey or April, and actually when you get right down to it, Shredder is also not there, and we don't know what happened to Krang either, do we? So yeah, and of course on the back of the package we have Leonardo, the leader of the snake hunting green machine, Clamchat, the master of hand puppets, Ninjor, the devious dragon, and Michelangelo, the powerful party dude. And the book just went off the table. So I was already kind of playing with the nunchucks earlier. I mean, it basically turns it into a net kind of a thing. I think these are hideously ugly and stupid. I don't know who came up with this idea, and I don't know why they thought it was a good idea, but I think it's awful. If we pull that off, though, we can put that back in here like this, and this becomes a club, I guess. And while both sides come off, this middle part is a separate piece altogether. Now, if we want to be really stupid, we can go ahead and combine all of these together like this and turn them into an even stupider looking weapon. Also looks like kind of a bra. Yeah, a strapless bra, but still kind of a bra, all the same. And here's Michelangelo holding his bra weapon in hand. But let's go ahead and remove that from the picture, maybe to never see again. Oh, I got another little plastic thing stuck on his elbow. Michelangelo does come with the second turtle shell design that has the thing down at the bottom. Alright, I lied. I guess we will see him again. The nunchuck can be forced into position, but doesn't really go by itself very well. I think he's sporting a new head sculpt design. This is one of those ones where they kind of put the smirk-like look in there, where the one side of the mouth is a little bigger than the other. Something that was done on a lot of the Ninja Turtle weapons faces back in the day too. He comes with a version of snake armor. I'm guessing the only reason they didn't reuse Skeletor's snake armor, though, was because they needed those holes in the back for the shell shield. Oh, hell. Let's just take them apart, shall we? And yeah, Michelangelo does come wearing just the same battle armor torso that he had previously. So, as I mentioned before, we once again do not get a Michelangelo with just a normal Ninja Turtle torso. Which is really kind of annoying to me because, as I said before, I kind of wanted to be able to display the 4 turtles as turtle figures. Also, not that I've gotten 2 of any of them. Aside from Raphael, I have not picked up 2 of any of the other turtles. So I guess that's not a big deal after all. We have seen this waist belt before. Articulation-wise, on our party man here, head is on a ball joint and can spin around and look around and go all over the place like he's having some kind of seizure. We can lift the arm up and down and up and down, spin it, and of course the design of the harness does in fact get in the way, although it is soft enough plastic that you can force it through, but then it raises it up a bit. So it still looks kind of stupid. We have the single joint at the wrist. His wristband is a separate piece from the arm in this case also. We have a spin at the wrist and the in and out articulation that is normal with the Origins figures. He can spin at the waist all around like this. And yeah, he's got those knee pads. We can kick up a little bit here. We can kick back a little bit there. We can bend the knee at a 90 degree and spin that. He's got a really decent outrange of kick so that he can kick somebody in the face if he wants. We do have the boot cut, although that's even more awkward with the knee pad thing there. We have the hinge at the foot and the spin. And of course, this is kind of like with Donatello where he has the little like attached knee pad thing. In this case, it's definitely a metal piece. Or a metal-like piece, I guess, since it is plastic when you get right down to it. Okay, so I know I've been mocking this figure, but I mean, the overall look honestly isn't too bad. I don't mind the knee pads, but it's nicer in this case than it was with Donatello because these are actually in the orange color that goes with the rest of him and doesn't like get drowned out with the brown like they did with Donatello. The head sculpt is fine, but you have to really try hard to ruin a Ninja Turtle head sculpt. I have seen it done. I definitely have seen that done. But overall, he looks good. I don't mind the armor design. I think it's fine. Like, again, I was kind of mocking it because I had to make something new. But it does fit him fine. And although I do think if he goes to do like a sit-up, he is going to stab himself in the gonads. And that's bad. Are his gonads armored? I wonder. My only real complaint with this figure, honestly, besides not having a normal torso, is this weapon. Which apparently also doubles as a jump rope. I think it's dumb. To me, I just don't really see how this is particularly useful. And, one like that, or, you're not really doing a traditional nunchuck with this, I think. So that's kind of my issue with it. Yeah, he's got floppy chucks. Anyway, I'm guessing this is the final Michelangelo figure we're going to get in this line, since the comic ended with that issue, or the story, and the Turtles went back to whatever. Unless they're going to do another wave where they have the He-Man characters go on to Earth in New York and do stuff there. I'm just guessing that once the last two deluxe figures come out of King Hiss and the Shredder Snake, although it does sound like they're doing a Shredder Skeletor hybrid figure as well, which would kind of hint at another wave of regular figures too, if you're right down to it. But then again, if that only got to the prototyping stage and they ended the line, maybe it won't come out anyway. Who knows? But right now, I'm just guessing that this is the final wave of figures, and we will never get plain He-Man styled Ninja Turtle figures that I would love to have for this line. But if you enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a like. I would really appreciate any subscriptions also. Thanks for watching, and peace and love.